All right, peace, peace, peace. For first and foremost, hopefully, the Most High in your house shall blessing your day by His mercies we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house that's by into a naturally alive, man. We come back with a quick video very quick, man. Because honestly, man, I was thinking about this in the actually my brother, one of my homies, my brother he sent me the Joshua 1:9 yesterday, and it was like, no, it's all crazy. That's all in the Most High in your house shall, because today's the 28th. And I was kind of looking at Genesis 28 today, because it is what it is. Usually each day, like shout out to elder brother Jude Mack and Masharathi. Like, there's a proverb for each day of the month. So like today's the 28th, and I read Proverbs 28. Like, tomorrow's 29th. I'll read 29th. But sometimes I just do that with other books. Not even just like I don't know. I just do that sometimes. It's just like honestly, yeah. Hold on. I just do that sometimes, me personally. I'm pretty sure y'all brothers and sisters too as well. But I just want to get into that because I was looking at that and he sent that to me yesterday, man. But pretty much, man, kind of like like us being alive in the Most High in your house, us body, and this pretty much like Isaiah 8:10 says, and Romans 8:31 says, if the Most High in your house is with us, who can be against us, man? Also too, man, we're gonna see how the Most High tell you, Most High in your house shall tell you how they're always one, we had to go forsake them and want to do our own will, we had to walk contrary for them to for us to walk for them to walk contrary to us, or it's not just like no, or to get rid of us. Honestly, you have to forsake, because most of your house shop, they mean that when they say they don't forsake you. You have to forsake them, honestly. And it's more that aspect, man. Honestly, so this is what it is, man. Or it's just they just or sometimes it's how you living, or it's like, what, nah, I'm good off this right now, or kind of even you don't even have to forsake some. Just you could forsake them, but by honestly, your conduct and how we live in. Honestly, this just is what it is. But honestly, man. But pretty much, man, that's how he tell you. Also, too, how this goes into show you how he tells us to end from the beginning. He told us that's how you know you would. But that's why I believe on them, as the scriptures say. Believe on Yahushua, as the scriptures say. The Most High Yahushua, as the scriptures say, because you're dealing with the same God. He's dealing with the same. Dealing with the same, man. So because it's just like that. Because a lot of times too, it is even on a natural tip, right? With people, consistency brings trust. Honestly, man. That's why it says like the Father, like the Son, the Most High. He says he changes not. Honestly, like Malachi says in the Son, Yahushua is the same as yesterday, today, and forever, man. So yeah, because when somebody's because see, that's the difference between the Most High and Yahushua and man, honestly. Because even though you do have men that are that are kind of like that, but not on the level of of course, not of the level of God, man, or the Most High in your house shot, man. Because me personally, a big flaw of mine I'm trying to work on is being mercurial, man. That's kind of it's not necessarily bipolar per se, but it's kind of in that realm. He's kind of kind of moody and can be changed a lot, honestly. But the Most High in your house shot is always consistent, man. It is what it is. You know what you're gonna get, because it is too. I was watching I remember I was watching the documentary. It was on NFL Network about the 2007 Giants, and they said, I forgot. I think it was Michael Strahan being interviewed about Eli Manning. It says, yeah, he was saying this because he was saying this about him. He said, man, it's kind of Eli, playing with Eli. It was cool, but it's kind of I don't think he said difficult at times. He said it's kind of he said it was kind of difficult at times. It was it was kind of on the little spectrum at times, because he said, because 1 minute, one day he could be all in, joking around and stuff like that, and then the other day he's kind of reserved. I mean, that's human experience, but it's he kind of was saying pretty much you didn't know what kind of Eli you're going to get. Honestly, he was kind of saying that in a roundabout way. Even even somebody from afar, because I don't know them, but somebody like a Kyrie, Kyrie Irving is was rumored kind of be that way. It's kind of that way just from afar, because certain teammates and kind of said the same thing about him, or even though, well, not Kawhi Leonard, because Kawhi's kind of like that, but yeah, people were saying that about him. That's what they call mercurial. Honestly, that's something that I'm honestly, I need to change that. It is what it is. Even though I'm not bipolar, I don't believe so, because that runs deep deep in my family, like seriously deep in my family. It's not like this new. I mean, no, it's not. I don't want to belittle it, but I think now it's more of a cop out because it's not nothing to play with the actual mental health and like actual that because I'm pretty sure you brothers and sisters actually come from a family that actually deals with that heavily. It's not nothing like this a buzzword or buzz term now, like that's like kind of being thrown around now, like the whole self-care and things of that nature. So that's neither here nor another day, but pretty much, man, going back to the point, it's just the fact that let's get Genesis 28:15 because I kind of y'all know I'm like the king of digressing and and soliloquies and and sidebars. But let's get Genesis chapter 28 and verse 15. It says, "And behold, I am with thee, and I will go in all places whither thou goest, and will bring in unto thee to this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done all which I have spoken of." Yeah, exactly. So he's not. This is going to be like he's going to pretty much the Most High house is going to do his will, man. They're going to do their will. Honestly, like he's going to do his will. Honestly, that's kind of like he says in Isaiah, like my pretty much my word is not gonna come back void. And like how shall I said, my words, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words won't. But honestly, with that, let's read this again. Genesis chapter 28, verse 15. It says, "Behold, this is when this is Genesis 28 when Jacob is on the run from Esau, man. We're gonna go into that more in Jacob and Esau because pretty much that whole thing was overcoming the world. The sons and daughters of the Most High Yahweh, sons of God, overcoming the world. That's what that whole thing was about. But also too, even we can look at Jacob and Esau and the story about, especially this chapter, as when the beast is summarized, when the son of perdition rises, like the beast, because the beast is going to come of the line of Edom because he wants that promise again, man. So like even it's more of like the whole Jacob and Esau thing. It's more than just like like skin tone and things and nationality and things of that nature. It's more than that because even though I do believe like the Esau is the progenitor, I mean the patriarch of the so-called Caucasian race or the so-called white race, honestly, but that's just me. It don't, but pretty much like the brother that sent me first one said, don't be like that, man. Pretty much earthly, worldly, contrary to Most High Yahweh, man. That's just is what it is. We could believe like some, if you believe Esau was a so-called dark skinned man, or like or was Arab or whatever, man. You think it? Don't be like that, man. That's the point of it. Honestly, don't be like him. Honestly, it doesn't really matter, but. Pretty much this whole Genesis 28 is kind of a precursor, like because it's the beast, the son of perdition, the beast, is going to be backed by Satan, and and he's going to be persecuting the sons and daughters of the Most High House out of the saints. So this is kind of a precursor to that, because telling you the end from the beginning, like that's one aspect of this Genesis 28, telling you the end from the beginning. But it says, "Behold, I am with thee, and I'll in all places where thou goest, and I'll bring thee into this land, and I will not leave thee until I have done which I have spoken." Exactly. So he's not even talking about Jacob, like he's talking about like his descendants now, like because he's gonna do that, like and that's really true faith, live according to the promises, and that's what all of them did. Abraham, a lot of times live according to the promise, things that they want to live to see. Yeah, and this too, like even with our people, even outside the word, right? I was just talking about this with somebody. Like, honestly, I think that's like one big thing because a lot of times our people like we try to form these like it was prophesied that they will fail, but I mean sometimes I'll get their intentions, but like these certain movements and things of that nature for the betterment of our people. But even something like that requires like honestly faith, or this too. A lot of times too, people are worried, like many are worried about not getting the credit rather than seeing the result. Because hypothetically, seeing the result of, like, say if that did happen, right? That a lot of times too will hold like many of like our people back is because you didn't live to see it, honestly, and that's really what like living like true leadership and true faith and the purpose is. It's like you living according to some are built planning and living, planning and strategizing or striving for something you may not even live to see. But how much more of that in the lore, honestly, because even that in the natural to our people, these different movements, things of that nature. But this is not. But let me say this too, because even the brother, he did say, something wrong, he did something right. That the old brother from I guess Akari, Gorilla Hebrew, he did say something about it because he did say something true. I seen a clip of the because I haven't been following that stuff, but he did say something as in like this isn't a movement because a movement stopped. That'll be contrary to the Most High Yahushua's word because this whole thing like I mean I get it coming from like coming in the conventional way, it might seem like that, but like listen, we're the people of the book, we're the Israelites, and like the law, statutes, and commandments, like things that nature. Some coming in that conventional way, you wonder like it's kind of like be honest with you, it's kind of presented like that a lot of times too. Like it was kind of presented like that for me, honestly. Like but this isn't the movement. Man. This is the word of the Most High Yahushua, which lasted forever. It was here before me, and way before me, and any one of us during my time living, like now, it's gonna be way after I'm gone, man. Honestly, but all like we can do, all like you brothers and sisters and myself can do, honestly, is live like like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, how any righteous sons and daughter of the Most High Yahushua live according, like Hebrews 11 said, all these live according to a promise that they didn't see yet. Righteous, and that's just is what it is. So, yeah, let's read this again. It says, Genesis chapter 28, verse 15, Behold, I am with thee, and I will keep thee in all places where thou goest, and I'll bring thee again into this land, for I will not leave thee until I have done all which I have spoken of. So see, let's go to this, because it's crazy, because Yahushua, son of Nun, Joshua said, this is the same thing said to him. That's how you know who we dealing with, man. Let's get Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Then we're going to go to the second, to Yahushua. And this is Yahushua, son of Nun, or just Joshua. Joshua 1, chapter 9, it says, have I not commanded thee? Be strong. And what's that strength? Isaiah 26 and 4. And trust in the Most High Yahushua's everlasting strength. But of course, being strong, of course, naturally, because he's going to war. But actually, more importantly, spiritually strong, man. Honestly, that's honestly, like, the ultimate strength. But I have I not commanded thee? Be strong of good courage. Be not afraid. Be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whatsoever thou goest. Because he told the same thing he told Jacob in the beginning. So yeah, let's get this too, because shout out to brother Carl and Shalom, man, because they brought this scripture out. Like I wasn't as familiar with it, but yeah, man. Even though a lot of times it says endure to the end, like the Most High House is with you to the end. He said that. He even said this, and he even said this in John too. So yeah, let's get this Matthew chapter 28 verse 20 exactly, and also too it says that in in Genesis what we said in the beginning. But yeah, this is how and this is how he tells us the end from the beginning, man. So Matthew chapter 28 verse 20, it says, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world. Exactly. So in Deuteronomy, yeah, he tell you he's with us with the to the end, man. Like he will not forsake thee. He will not forsake us. He's with you to the end. He told us that from the beginning. Most High also told us that at the beginning. He's told us that to our forefather, like Jacob, and now and Israel, man. Honestly, man. So like honestly, that's just is what it is. I was about to say something too. Yeah, man, that's just what it is right there. Let's read this again. It says, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you, and lo, I'm with you always, even to the end of the world. So yeah, see how he tells us the end from the beginning, man. Like like Michael Jackson said, that song, like, you are not alone, I'm here with you, man. That's right. And that's crazy. Ironically enough, Michael Jackson song, and what does Michael mean? Like he that is like Yahweh, he that is like the Most High, he that is like God. Honestly, so that's just what it is. This is a side note, since I got this jersey on. That's why, even that's a more thing, something on the left hand side. But like shout out to Brother Chronicles Judah for bringing this out, because remember it was this kind of nothing to do with anything. But in that 86, what was it, the 1986 playoffs NBA, when Chicago played the Celtics. And Larry Bird had said about Michael Jordan, he's like, it's like watching the Most High or God in sneakers. Now, which is kind of blasphemous, but I know what he was trying to. I know it was kind of being broached at, but honestly, that's too much. But but I know what was meant by that. But also too, that was probably more than me to the eye with that statement. That's more something on the left hand side of the cultic. But yeah, man, that's just, it is what it is with that, man. But catch. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is with that, man. So that's just crazy since we mentioned Michael, Jackson and Michael. That word, the name Michael means he does like the Most High. He's like Yahweh. He is like God. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is. But let's grab a who's gonna grab? Yeah, but we see that. Oh, John. Yeah, man, but. That's why on a natural tip, as in, you know what, we're gonna go back to Genesis real quick. Where's Genesis? What was that? Is that? I think that's not what I'm with you. Hold on. Is that the one? It might be the one. No, that's something. I'm with you. Oh my gosh. Hold on, y'all. I gotta look at this. All right, bet. Okay, yeah, it is. It was right here. Okay, I'm in the right part. Yeah, just like we mentioned, Michael Jackson, "You're Not Alone." But yeah, man. John 16 verse 32, man. Because you know it's too. Shout out to brother the brother from Assembly Firstborn too for mentioning this, man. Because on a natural tip. Yeah, like, but then again, sometimes that just goes into, because it's a balance thing right here, right? Because on a natural tip, because I was always thinking this reading between the lines was, Noah probably like, Noah was by himself really, but on a natural tip, honestly, but spiritually he wasn't like, because a lot of times too, like, one advice was given to me, which is two things can be true. As we can always say, you can walk and chew gum, but. Because one of the things that was given me, and honestly, just watching different classes and told me personally things that nature, like this is a lonely walk. Yes and no, because honestly, like Noah, like on a natural tip, was Noah lonely? I mean, of course he had his family. That's all that, he had his family and things of that nature. That's all that he had to worry about, honestly. But the ark wasn't just made for him, but like honestly, it was just like but because. Yeah, on a natural tip was Noah like probably lonely. Yeah, but but really, Noah walked with the Most High in house, which we about to get late. After this, but so like the brother sent me first one said, if you got the Most High in house with you, you can't really spiritually it's not it's not really even lonely. But I get it things on natural tip because this too. That's where we had to have compassion at those without, or like a lot of times too people. A lot of times this is a misconception too, just because we're in the word now. Since however the Most High house I was building, you brothers and sisters up, and how long we've been in the word, things of that nature. That doesn't mean you can't understand somebody from from a carnal and worldly perspective, or having these fleshly perspectives or things of that nature, or not from a spiritual perspective. Because even I sometimes still have those moments, honestly. But you just gotta look at things like how I said, my words of spirit. Gotta look at things spiritually, honestly, because that happens. Because we're in the flesh. But so it's not, you can understand that. So that's just one thing about that too. But yeah, that's just is what it is. Cause it can just be a lonely walk. Yeah, but to a degree, yes and no. Honestly, a natural tip. Yeah, if you're looking at that. But sometimes, man, that's why that Ecclesiastes 7 is so key, man. Because sometimes, what did how shall I say? Even 2 or 3 gathered in my name, I'm there. So that I always say this, man. That especially with the love of the Most High house, with godly love, right? The last X concert, man, he did in Philadelphia, DMX in May 2019. He said this, man. He said, listen. He said, of course, we always mention. He said, I had sex with a lot of women, but it's nothing. He didn't say those words, but I had sex with a lot of women, but it's nothing being in a room full of people that love you, man. So that few, because it's always gonna be few. Because I always tell my students, man, you're only gonna have really 2 to 3 real actual brothers and sisters, actually real friends. Honestly, honestly, that's just is what it is, man. It's is what it is. That's really but how much more like that? Because it's too. That's what Paul said to Philemon in that aspect too. Because honestly, it's a plus. Because naturally, in a natural sense, even on on a natural perspective, I rock with you, but how much more in the Lord, honestly, like, so that's really honestly the thing, especially in the word. That's really a plus. Like, of course the comment, because that's the beauty of the Most High Yahushua, like, in his body, and it's like, in this word, like being in knowledge, because he it grabs all people from all different walks of life, man. Like, he can get, like, he got brothers, like, even brothers from the street, like, you got different sisters that live in a certain lifestyle that was probably like prostituting before, or, like, out here doing what they was doing, or like, he got a brother from Wall Street, like, or like, from there, got this brother from, like, in a different, like, because this has happened, like different brothers in the music business, or like, from the entertainment industry, or like, a sports, like, in the professional sports play, professional athletes, and brothers and sisters like this, from every different walks of life, pretty much, man. That's the common denominator, is especially being the knowledge in the word, is the Most High Yahushua. That, honestly, so that's just is what it is, man. But that's really more the most important thing, is the love of the Most High Yahushua. But let's grab this. It says Luke chapter 16, verse 32, it says, "Behold, the hour cometh, ye should be scattered, every man to his own, and shall leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me." So see, exactly. So he's not alone. Like, actually, but on natural side was he, but spiritually, no. As long as you got the Father and the Most High Yahushua, the Spirit dwelling within you, honestly, then you're not, man. Because, like, then he say, like, in Psalms 91, he'll give angels and to compass you and all that stuff, like, to watch over you. Yeah, the Most High Yahushua and angels with you. Yeah, in the heavenly realm, like, I mean, this natural realm, you look alone, but in the spiritual realm, man, you, like, it's kind of like what he did to Elijah, or like, or was it Elisha, with the whole, like, he told him to close his eyes, and he seen the whole army of angels, man. So, or like in the Maccabees, when he just got one angel destroy the whole army, man. But that's what it is. Let's go to Genesis real quick. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "These are generations of Noah. And Noah was a just man, faithful and perfect in his generations, to walk with Yahweh." So yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. So yeah, so like, yeah, that's just what it is, man. But that's why not being forsaken, and the Most High House always being with you, honestly, man. And who can be, if they're with you, who can be against you, honestly, man? Seriously. So yeah, man. That's one get. And also too, let's get this Isaiah 46 and 10. So there's many aspects how he's telling us the end from the beginning. Declaring Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning, from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. My counsel shall stand. I will do my pleasure. Yeah, I'm going to do my will. My word will not become void. So yeah, man. Hopefully this is edifying, man. So much love to y'all, brothers and sisters. So peace.